Life is short, and sometimes you can plan life and think that things are going to go the way you plan them to go, and most likely they won't. Life is unpredictable. There's a lot of things that happen that you don't even think or even in the cards. I think, or I view life as blindfolded chess, right? You can understand the rules of the game, and you can move your pieces however you think would be best to win the game, but it's still blindfolded, so it's very complicated, and you can only see a few steps ahead, right? Your opponent is yourself, is the external world, is circumstances that happen, is time itself, is the amount of resources you have, your friends, your family, right, your circle, and so on, right? But I believe everyone should push themselves to their best form, to their best capabilities, to their best talents, right? We should all strive to do better year after year after year. The thing about life is I believe it gets harder over time, right? Because when you're young, you're healthy, you have energy. As time goes on, your health decays, your energy levels get lower, and things get harder. Not only that, but if you take a look at the world economy or the U.S. economy, now with remote work, there's a bunch of jobs being outsourced, like all over the place, worldwide. I'm seeing ads often now of companies offering cheap labor for services, right? So basically, outsourced employment to Asian countries or whatever, where you can employ someone for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a year, right? You just can't compete with that. So for people in the U.S., right, we've lived a very high standard of living, and now with remote work, with AI, automation, robotics, right, with the high national debt that the U.S. has, with inflation, and so on, so many different factors, right? The level of difficulty for each person to achieve what their parents or the grandparents achieved by their age, I believe, is going to be harder over time. And as an individual, your energy levels as you get older aren't the same. So you're fighting against yourself, you're fighting against your mind, you're fighting against the economy, and all these previous things I just mentioned. So it's hard. It is hard. And you have to train your mind to understand that it's not going to get easier as time progresses. More than likely, it's going to become harder and harder. And you just gotta go with the flow. You have to look for a way to create a shortcut to wealth and achieve income producing assets, right? Before things get tougher financially on the world scale and on a macro picture and individually, of course. So time is critical. Time is a very delicate thing. We don't pay attention to it. We take it for granted. And sometimes it's a perception type of thing, right? Because sometimes it can go fast, sometimes it can go slow, depending what you're doing or depending how busy you are, right? I believe everyone should have goals, specific goals with their life, right? On every different facet of your life, not just the financial, but everything else. Specific goals, because one thing I've learned is when you don't have goals, you tend to make more mistakes. Because just to give an example, and this would be the most easiest example, right? If someone were to give you, say, $250,000, right, today, and you don't have a specific plan towards what to do with that money, chances are you're just gonna lose that money in garbage, right? Or you're gonna use it in a non-savvy way. So in order to better manage, say for example, that amount of money, you would need to have a goal to it, right? Something assigned towards it beforehand, so that you can guarantee the best outcome or the best results for what you have on your hands. And not just finances. It can be other stuff, right? And it can be time itself, right? So if you're 20 now, if you're 30, 40, 50, and the average human lives till 70, 80, depending which country you're at, right? That varies by country. Here in the US, I believe the numbers right now are 78 on average. So, depending where you are on that scale, you have to say, okay, on average, I have X amount of years left to me. What am I gonna do with those years? And plan out what you will do with the rest of the time you have left. Obviously, no one should fall in the trap of planning your life so much that you discard the possibility of exponential changes, right? Because when it comes to exponential changes, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen in life. You can meet a very important person that can change your whole life, right? And that would be an exponential change in your life, not a linear change. So I believe we should plan our lives linearly but always give the opportunity for what if things go exponentially. And if things go exponentially on a different facet of your life, then you would have to also plan for that, right? But yeah, mostly life, or at least the way I've viewed it, is lots of stumbling blocks, lots of roadblocks and difficulties you have to get over. But mostly personally, right? Because if you can overcome the challenges that you face every day, the negativity or the way you speak to yourself, right? Then just that in itself, if you can correct that, you're making a huge step ahead, right? Just believing in yourself, believing that you can achieve greater things, and you can become a better person every year, every day, every month, and so on, and or doing something for someone else, I believe is transcendental or life-changing for each one of us. And of course, not everyone is drawn to the same thing, right? We all want to achieve different things in life. We should all just strive to be the best at whatever we can and try to leave this planet being a better place than what it was, right, when we arrived. That's just the way I see it. Life is so short. Life is extremely short, right? One day you're born, the next day you're halfway there, It's crazy. If the average is 78 years, then what's halfway to it? 39 years? 39 years old is halfway to it? That's not much. You reach 39 years old, you're already halfway there. So you need to make the best use of your time possible and make life make the world a better place, right? For future generations. And, if you see something wrong, say it, right? Don't be a fake person. I mean, I've always been that way, whenever I see something that I don't like, I just say it. And that's just the way I think things should be, right? Me personally, I would always try to do good to others and improve myself every day as much as I can. As to you, well, that's your choice, right? Everyone has a choice to make, and everyone can do what they want, right? Everyone is entitled to do what they want in life. But me, I've chosen what to do, right? And one of those is creating these videos, right? To communicate my thoughts. I believe I have a lot to contribute to this world, to people. And I will continue to make these videos. I enjoy them as well. But anyways, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, watch my other videos. And if you have any ideas, let me know so that I can create a video on what you would like. Have a nice one.